Welcome back to the Wrestling Related Podcast, where the topics are related to wrestling. The three of us are related to each other. I'm Josh.
Dustin.
I'm Corey.
And you guys are catching us right here for our WWE Survivor Series WarGames recap, which I suppose that means I should probably pull out the crown because I am the reigning and defending king of predictions. That's right. I almost had a perfect one. And it was funny because we recorded this last Tuesday. And then, of course, Survivor Series WarGames is Wednesday. And as I'm watching...
No,
and that
Saturday.
Saturday.
It was on Saturday.
It was on Saturday.
Wednesday
is when I watched Raw, because I hadn't watched Raw from last Monday before I even made the predictions. After watching Raw, I was like,
And then SmackDown.
Had I watched Raw before, the one that I got wrong, I would have changed. And apparently we lost Dustin. And that's...
Shame on him.
All right, I suppose. It'll be funny if it winds up being like, I don't know, his thing. There you are. You chimed back in.
I got fat fingers.
It was the big button and the little button.
Whoops. Is that what it is? Okay.
So anyways, I was saying the one that I got wrong, I would have changed it because I was like, is it too late for me to request a change? And then I was like, nah, we'll just run with it. But
we've
which
had
happened
this
to be
issue,
the only
though.
one I got right.
Yes, it was the only one that you got right.
But we've had this issue historically because we tend to record earlier in the week, and then we have, whether it be a PVV or a PLE, we've got anywhere between 1 and 4 episodes of something to watch leading up to something new, and we're like, So
yeah.
Best attempts.
Yep. So, hey, how about we run through that? And then because it's Tuesday again and we had Raw last night, if there's anything that happened during Raw that you want to recap and hash out, feel free. We will jump in here, kind of in what we had from Survivor Series WarGames. What'd y'all think of this three-way?
I don't know.
Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser. I was in between.
Played it up like it was the end all be all of the card, but
I was in between an Orange Cassidy and a Hacksaw on giving it a thumbs up. I didn't not like it. I thought it was pretty good. It drug on a little bit for my liking, but when you've got a three-way, you kind of got to put in a little bit of time. I think it was also
once again.
It was predictable, at least for Corey and I. Apparently not Dustin.
It proved once again that Sheamus can go and Sheamus can get the crowd into it.
Yes. I will say, I've kind of been on the fence with Braun Breaker. There was a promo that he cut. I don't know if it was Monday or Friday or if it was just an WWE.com exclusive or if it was for their YouTube channel. I don't know. But there was a promo that he cut and it was in the backstage. He cut it on Sheamus. And I was like, where has this Braun Breaker been? Because it was just a good promo. Really getting Sheamus over a little bit, getting himself over. I was impressed with it. It's about the first time I think I've actually heard him on the mic that I did enjoy it.
Yeah, when he wasn't being Goldberg 2.0.
Yeah. Yep. All right,
Yeah,
Dustin giving it an Orange Cassidy on that one. We'll go with the next one. It was LA Knight, against Shinsuke Nakamura. This is the match that really kind of sealed it for me to win because of this match.
Because you convinced me to flip it and you would have won. Retained on a draw anyways.
I would have retained on a draw, but and Corey and I both kind of saw this where it's like, you're not going to bring Shinsuke back like this, the way they've been hyping him up and not have him win. Even though, was it SmackDown, they threw a monkey wrench in my thoughts on predictions because all of a sudden he has a match. And it's just like, oh, well, now you have a match before the PLE, and it's like, well, now he could win this, and then he could lose that. And
it was against Andrade.
Yeah.
That was a good match.
That match I actually enjoyed better than this match.
I agree, 100%.
I don't know what it was about this match. This was probably, let me look through. Yes, this was my least favorite match of the entire PLE. It was
Not
just... because I was watching it and I got bored at times. I still give it an Orange Cassidy. None of them really got a Batista for me. But it was, there was something missing. It was like, I don't know if it was a lack of buildup, a lack of hype, just a lack of interest. If it was just a crowd that was kind of dead for it, I don't know. But yeah.
Any of those things can ruin it for you.
Yep, it was something. So Dustin gave it a Batista. Corey, what did you think of overall?
It was all right.
Orange Cassidy.
I mean, for the most part, it was just like, it's a show.
Yes.
I wasn't overly wowed except for, a couple things on the card.
Right. Okay. How about the world title match? Gunther against Damian Priest. What'd you guys think on that one? Gunther retaining. We all knew that was going to happen.
I'm somewhere in between.
So not even or you're somewhere in between a Batista and an Orange Cassidy.
And an Orange Cassidy, yeah. Batista and Orange Cassidy, somewhere in between there.
Okay.
I was not impressed. I was fast forwarding through some of it because I was like snoozing, fading off. It was, to me, it was dull. It was dull until the very end, and then even that was
Yeah, it was. To me, it was okay. I liked it more than the last match, but it was definitely an Orange Cassidy. It was just like, meh. Been there, done that. It feels like I've watched this match 15 times this year. I know I haven't, but it feels like I have.
It's only been once, but yet it still felt like, haven't we done this already? Yeah, you did, like 6 months ago.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if part of that is because you've got Damian Priest, who, now that he's out of the Judgment Day storyline, or was out of the Judgment Day storyline during this moment, it was like, it's just Damian Priest, and it was like, I needed more. And with Gunther, it's like, at the moment, there's nobody that is believable enough for me to think that they're going to take the title.
Here's the deal for me. It's Damian Priest, 100% Damian Priest. Can he work certain people? Sure. Can he work guys that are better than him? No. Because it just shows his still greenness in certain aspects. Prime example, we've watched Gunther and Sheamus how many times this year? And I would still be on the edge of my seat watching that match if it happened tomorrow. Because those two can work. They're going to hit harder, and they're going to work. Damian Priest is just like,
I enjoyed, again, something that happened on a different show, whether it was Raw or SmackDown, that I enjoyed better. I enjoyed watching Gunther versus Dominic Mysterio again.
Absolutely.
So it's like, I just enjoyed that more. And that's where it was like, this was one of those that it was all right.
Here's.
I'm glad I didn't have to pay for it.
I think Josh does. I think between Dustin and Josh, we kind of stumbled upon it by accident here. It's with Gunther, for it to be what we would consider to be a good match. He hits hard, so we want to see the selling of all those hard hits.
Yeah.
And while Priest does, it's not to the degree that we would expect from it. And if they're trying to push him as to be this bigger, give him a bigger push and make him a bigger bit of a monster and whatnot, then that's one thing. But how many times have we seen Gunther against somebody bigger that should push him around?
Yeah.
And so is that really a knock on Priest, or is that a knock on Gunther, or is that just somebody in the booking that just put this together, almost felt like last minute, and said, "Hey, we got to do something. We got to give Cody the night off, and we got Gunther sitting over here on the shelf. Let's put him to work."
So I'm chalking this up as this was a mistake by the bosses.
Yeah.
Certain people have chemistry in the match, certain people do not. You should have learned from the first match. These two do not have chemistry. These guys cannot put on a showstopper of a match ever.
Yeah. And I almost wonder if I will probably give the bosses a pass on this one, just as long as they don't do it again. The first time it happens, you could think maybe the guys just had an off night. But the second time they have one of these, then it's like, okay, now they don't gel together. It's just...
Fool me once.
Yeah. And it just, sometimes it is the way it is, and it's just, okay, we just need to call an audible.
There's plenty of other people on the card. Put both these guys on a show against others.
Yep, for sure. Speaking about selling and how we like to see selling, hey, the women's WarGames match, my favorite part of the entire WarGames match was... Huh?
The ending?
No. The next match?
No, I actually enjoyed most of this. It was fun to me. But it was Nia Jax, and I want to say it was Bianca that she winds up giving like the Samoan drop to, hits her, goes for a pin, and then Naomi is on the back side of it, and it's 1, 2, 3. Bianca kicks out, Naomi's behind her, and she kicks out, and nobody's even covering her. Just the empty kick out. I absolutely loved.
Let me jump my take in this because Dustin's going to go off in a moment.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this from the fire extinguisher on. Everything prior to it, I could have just gone without. Because it was just half-assed and not thought out, and Hulk Hogan chair shots.
There were plenty of Hulk Hogan chair shots.
Now, I understand that the Fed has banned chair shots to the noggin, and Nia is continuously getting ready to do this, and like, oh crap.
I'm not saying that this was a hacksaw by any means, but I enjoyed this better than both of the singles matches. Were there only 2 other single matches? Yeah, I enjoyed these better than both the singles matches. The chair shots, bad. Io Sky, somebody needs to tell her how to turn the chair over and hit with the seat of the chair, not the underside of the chair multiple times.
Woof.
And I didn't really enjoy. I should have enjoyed Rhea Ripley in this more. I didn't, because she came in Goldberg style, and it was like, go ahead and bury everybody, and now you don't look that tough at all. And so it kind of watered it down. But there were a bunch of spots in it that I enjoyed. Io doing the blind trash can moonsault. I'm like, you're just nuts. And thank you for being nuts, because it was still fun.
So that and Tiffy Swanton were the only 2 redeeming qualities of the whole match. The only way this match could have been any worse, in my opinion, is if Jade Cargill was in it too. That is the only physical way it could be any worse.
Tell us how you really feel.
I would have rather spent an hour sitting in on the toilet sending Instagram reels to people. It was so bad. So bad. I would rather see me break 5 more ribs. It was so bad.
You've got to admit that the first half of that, before everybody was in, it was
awful.
Good.
Awful.
I was glad it was the opening match. It starts the show off, because it was just like, all right, and it's just a little bit here, and a little bit there, and
you can't get any worse.
I thought it was good up until the point that they all 5 got in the ring, and once Rhea gets in there, then it was just like, for for a little while, but I would agree when the fire extinguisher came out around that time that all of a sudden the pace picked up a little bit more.
Because they teased the handcuffs, and then that played out, and it was like, okay, we actually have some storytelling going on in here somewhere,
right?
And it proved that you take Rodriguez out of the match, and it becomes a better match because she's horrible. Just
she's gross. A heck of a lot better than Nia Jax and Jade Cargill.
Which ain't saying them much. All together. Let's pool them all together.
I'm looking at the ladies here,
and then just let I don't know, one of the many bronze or bronze just abolish
Braun and Bronson.
Or just let them all just squish the crap out of all three.
Okay, so I think we all wanted more out of this match. Because I didn't have to pay for it, it gets an Orange Cassidy out of me. If I don't have to pay for wrestling, and this PLE also, it kind of helped me a little bit, we need to start doing more afternoon PLEs. I love the fact that it was over at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, something like that, and it's over, and I got a few hours extra. I'm like, thank you. I love it.
You're on the East Coast. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
It was nice, especially coming off of, what was it, the week prior or the week prior to that, whatever it was, when we had AEW and that went to like midnight. Granted, there were also 13 matches. But now, had we had this caliber of match and this caliber of a card, and it was AEW and I had to pay for it, I'd be livid.
You'd be cranky.
Oh, I'd be livid.
So you'd be me. Got
it. Yeah, but to me, it's like, there's enough other stuff on Peacock that I can watch and feel like I got my money's worth. One other side note on this, because we brought up,
realized what I want.
Because Corey brought up how he doesn't think Raquel Rodriguez is any good. Who is your, out of these 10 that are in there,
Sloppy.
Out of the 10 that are in there, who is your most overrated and most underrated of these 10?
Ooh.
Oh, that's easy. Nia Jax is the most overrated, and Tiffy is the most underrated.
No.
Oh, absolutely.
Candice LeRae in this match was the most underrated.
In this match,
she was like directing traffic for a while there. Everybody else was standing around, running after each other, playing slap hands, and she was directing traffic. That was.
But are you talking this match, or are you talking overall?
Well, let's define. Are we talking this match or overall? Because if we're talking this match, then it changes my thoughts. I was just saying overall. Who are our thoughts? Mm-hmm. But if you want this match, I've got different ones even in this match. I would agree with Corey. Overall, I think Candice LeRae is the most underrated out of them. Overall.
I agree with that in this match, yes.
No, overall. Not even in this match.
No.
In this match, I would say Naomi was the most underrated. Because she contributed a lot more while not really getting as much credit. But for me, the most overrated, overall, I would agree, overall, Nia Jax in WWE, most overrated. The most overrated in this match was Rhea Ripley. Because I don't know if it was trying to protect her or what. It was just like coming in and I'm going to headbutt you and then I'm going to go, rawr.
Naomi's also overrated. Why is she?
Here's my thing, though. If you're talking overall, is Candice LeRae?
Yeah.
Here's my take
underrated.
On that. Underrated. When you say overrated and underrated and overall, what I take is not only their ability, not only their promos, not only their, everything, the whole package, but are they put in a spot that they shouldn't be in? Meaning, you're saying Candice LeRae is the most underrated. So to me, that's saying you're saying that she should be moved higher in the card. She should be up there, main event in some pay-per-view, some PLEs.
No, just higher than where she's at.
Maybe not necessarily main event, not necessarily having either of the women's world titles,
Yes.
These secondaries, I could see her holding on to one of those.
Sure.
Because
Like
whether it's the women's US or the women's intercontinental, that's kind of where it's at, because she's pretty much been relegated to backstage goofy little segments, apart from just recently being brought in with Nia and with Tiffany. To me, I think Tiffany is underrated on her in-ring ability, drastically underrated on her in-ring ability. For as green as she is in the business, she is so good. She might be she might be in the top 2 of actual in-ring ability in this match, but Tiffany's got that Miss Money in the Bank contract, so to me, her status on the card is being elevated, and she's always featured, so that's where I think right now Tiffany is properly rated.
Properly rated just below the champion, and on that cusp of ready to take a title any given week, because she's holding Money in the Bank. So she's in a prime spot right now.
The crowd wanting her to cash in.
But I think Candice LeRae is where she's at, because there are no mid-card championships at the time for the last year or so.
Well,
but now that there is a mid-card, I can see her moving.
I think she's where she's at because she is half the size of the sloppy people.
Agreed. But to me, it's like, if we're going to put a women's world title on Io Sky, and if we're going to put a women's world title on Liv Morgan, I don't see what they have that Candice LeRae doesn't have, and then some. So that's kind of where I'm saying
just
underrated.
Time Fair on enough. The mic and show us.
But all right. Okay, let's go to some more selling and the main event. It was the Bloodline OG versus the Bloodline 2.0. And some of the selling in that match, most specifically, Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
And that his attempted double moonsault, and then he slips and he falls and he sells the knee. Like, did he actually? Like, when when people in the ring
saying, he's injured.
The referee. He had the referee convinced. The referee thought it was a shoot, and he's like, continues to check on him. And to me, it was like, okay, you're good.
Meanwhile, you got, the big guy, Bronson Reed, who came off the top, and did you see the still picture? He snapped his ankle.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so. Oh, that was ugly. That was ugly.
It was
as soon as he hit that right ankle, it was bad.
Yeah, foot decided to roll, and the ankle bone decided to dig into the mat.
Why didn't he learn from Adam Copeland? I mean, come on.
I have no idea.
Really?
But then, to be fair, Jimmy winds up going off the top, and he actually takes it right, because he goes way out and gut first as you hit, but still the momentum whipping his feet down, and he winds up breaking, broke a toe.
Did he? I didn't even see that.
It's like, and then all of a sudden, I'm sitting here thinking, maybe Io Sky did it the right way.
Put the trash can around.
Yeah, her or Tiffany. It's like, no, I'm not going to fall on a table. I'm going to fall on somebody else.
Yeah,
catch me.
But I even enjoyed the selling in the little mini cage between Roman Reigns and Punk. When Punk's getting ready, and then he puts the hand out, lets Sandy go, and then all of a sudden he starts walking out, and Punk just kind of jumps in there. It was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
that was the only Hacksaw match, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. The only Hacksaw match. The overall show, it gets an Orange Cassidy for me. It was okay. This match was the real redeeming quality of it, because, I mean, you had a star-studded cast in there, and they all. Honestly, I was even impressed with Tonga Loa. There were a few different things that he did in there, and I was like, the dude is actually doing a decent job in here. He's doing better than we've seen him in the past. So,
apparently on social, there was some guy that got caught on the microphone that was like, Tongaloa sucks. And then someone else, I agree.
I didn't think I was talking that loud. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was good. And another just, I guess, honorable mention, Tama Tonga, his little spider monkey thing when he crawled in and starts bouncing along the top of the cage. I'm like, dude, you're a nut job, and I love it. It's like
he plays it up, doesn't he?
I don't know what you're doing, but I love it every single time.
I swear somebody has given him that picture of the hyenas from
Lion King.
And he was like, that's my kid.
Ed.
And he's Ed, and he's just taking it. And
yeah.
Yep.
Hilarious. Good stuff. Well, that PLE, it wound up coming out to where I got 4 of the 5 matches right. Dustin got 2 of the 5 matches right. Yes, you got
sure?
You got the good guys in this match, and then Gunther.
And Gunther, okay.
Yep. And then Corey.
Darn, I was trying to be the one.
Yep. Corey got 3. He would have had 4 if he didn't switch it. But
Dustin, Josh talking me into switching it last minute.
No, I was just saying the only chance that you have is by switching up one of those.
And he did it on purpose so that the year-end results are skewed a little bit more in his favor.
Well,
shady business. Shady business.
That is true, because I took one more lead on you when it comes to the year-end.
Shady business.
That's right. My AI is coming through next week.
There we go. Hey, thing from Raw last night that kind of jumped out at you guys that you enjoyed. That you want to
New Day.
Oh, the emotional roller coaster of that segment.
Love that segment.
Oh, that hurt me. That hurt me.
So good.
I did not go through the last 10 years of the New Day. So I didn't have that baggage, if you will, leading up to it. However, knowing the big bullet points, and especially Big E, and him coming out and talking to him, and I was like, oh, this is sad. And then I fast forward a little bit, and I'm like, oh, it's getting worse. And I fast forward a little bit. Oh no, I don't want to watch this. And then
now, did it hurt more that the way it happened just because we'd went through it, or did it hurt more that it brought tears to an Iowa boy's eyes on national TV?
I don't know. Well, to me, the thing that hurt was, yes, it starts off with they've been toying with this divide, like the New Day is going to break up. That alone was
bad.
That's bad. That's making
a good bad.
80s Hogan a heel. You don't do that. That's like making John Cena a heel. The hustle, loyalty, respect John Cena heel. You don't do that. To turn the New Day heel, it was like you don't do that. And the fact that they're
trying to turn Ricky Steamboat heel, you can't do it.
Right. And they're toying with this, and it was like, no, I don't like this idea. And then Big E comes out, and he's here to save them. And he's reminding them of who they are. And then he goes as far as saying, I'm here for you. I'm back. I'm going to manage you guys. I will be with you. Yep. And I'm like, yes, we get the New Day back on TV. Only for them to both turn and be like, now you want to come back? And it was like, no, do not kick the puppy. Do not do that. Big E is our giant teddy bear, and you cannot give the teddy bear a Yakuza kick. Don't do it. It's just like,
but then they went as far as like, so you broke your neck. So did Stone Cold. So did Kurt Angle. So did Edge. They all came back.
And you didn't even have to have surgery on it.
Right.
And I was like, oh, no, you didn't. Stop being mean to him. The guy... It's medical. He can't help it.
He's been cleared for a while, though.
It was painful to see that.
In a good way.
Then when they turned at each other and they're like, now it's just us. We're all we have left. And they do the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All of a
So
sudden,
are
I
they
was
going
like,
to change the name?
oh.
No, keep the name.
I was
And
like,
It's
then
the
the
last
New
day
Day
now.
no,
rocks
now they
turns
need to
to
do the new day.
Sucks.
The new day?
The new day.
The new news.
Or the new night. I don't know.
Mm.
Whatever it was, they all of a sudden they turn heel on Big E, which is about the only way you could ever have New Day turn heel. So all of a sudden I was like,
that would turn him heel.
Oh,
but
this might be kind of smart. Maybe.
But it also opens the door for a Big E return to then deal with it and eventually a redemption story in there somewhere.
At least they didn't put the boots to him. I thought that was going to happen.
Oh, I thought it was coming too. And I was like, no, that would be too far. But
too far.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed that. I also enjoyed
It's not like a syringe in the inside of a cheek. I mean, come on.
Well, this is true. I enjoyed the little CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, that whole thing. Then to get Drew McIntyre back at the end, and it was like, I've missed you, Drew.
The promos seem to drag a little bit, and then it's like, look, what do you mean you think I hit Jay? That's not a conversation you could have had at the beginning of the match. We have to wait until the end of the match to have that conversation.
Right.
That seemed a little odd, but then it kind of played out, and yeah, Drew McIntyre back. Nice.
Yep.
Big fan of that.
I enjoyed it.
Very nice.
It was good. Yeah, so I think we've just got a couple weeks. Is that right? Before Saturday night's main event? It's not this coming weekend. It's the following weekend. Yeah. And we've already got 3 matches lined up for that one. We know we're getting Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens, Liv Morgan versus Io Sky, and Gunther versus Finn Balor. So it is looking to be kind of entertaining. We will see how that pans out. And that will be the one that AI will predict everything for us.
So we need to get John Hayes on the next prediction show, right?
No, we're just going to have a separate AI, a fourth AI that's AI is going to pick it for him, but I'm just going to prompt AI to pick the loser, which will be John's guess.
There you go.
And then chances are he'll still wind up winning.
Yeah.
So, all right, any other final shots on this recap episode we got?
The PLE sucked.
Nope.
No.
Do better. Stop trying to hold back for some reason. Just, you got it in you. Do better.
All right. You heard it. See you in the next one.